Yesterday we had our Sangha board meeting, and I have yet to be uninspired by one of these meetings. I have yet to feel like averse toward meetings based on these meetings. We have such good people who have been looking after the monastery for such a long time. They really are Sangha, the protectors of the Sangha. I really feel that, and it's quite nice. And one of the epithets for lay people that they use in Thailand sometimes is Dhammapala or Tamapan, which is like the Dhamma protectors. So like the lay people, the laymen, lay women who help look after the monasteries, they're the Dhammapalas. So the ones who keep the monastery running, keep the monastery going. That goes for the Anagarikas as well, those who can still use money and drive. And so we're recipients of that. So that there's like this beautiful exchange which happens. The 18th century yogi Shabkar in Tibet, he had this like verses of exultation at how amazing the Buddha was, and he said like the Buddha created a system where the monastics and the lay people all get enlightened together, because the lay people provide support and they build up the dana parami, and they learn how to relinquish in that way, and the monastics use that support and then go into the meditation practice, and they practice that way. So there's like two different types or two different forms of practice, but they all become enlightened together. And it's sort of these verses of amazement at what the Buddha actually set up, and if it's used properly, it can be of benefit to everybody without exception. So also think of like samana sanya. So like for those of us in the monastery and taking on whatever level of monastic form, then there's this quality of samana sanya, and when I think of samana sanya, or the perception of this building up the sense of self, of being a samana, and actually building up that perception of oneself as a samana, as a religious seeker. And one way to do that is like what Luang Por Chah said: a samana has no future. So it's like Luang Por's birthday today, Luang Por Pasano's birthday, 71. We count our lives based on the years, the cycles, the seasons. But then a samana has no future. So what does that mean? Of course, that means like the putting one's hopes in a future. Like it's not good now, but in the future it's going to be better at some future time. You know, it's not good now, but I hope it's going to get better. You know, we can still hope, but then hope and fear are connected, and so when there's hope, there's dashed hope. When there's hope, there's a fear it's not going to go that way, and so the samana has no future. So there's this sense of like there's a lot of beautiful qualities which come into this. There's a sense of the two qualities which beautify a practitioner. That's kanti and soracha, like patient endurance and humility. Those are two qualities which beautify a practitioner. And so with those particular qualities, there's that sense of samana sanya that builds up. With the quality of soracha, that's that quality of like mind like water. So there's a mind like stone, mind like earth, and mind like water. The mind like stone is like when something unpleasant happens to us. If we have a mind like stone, it's like etching a line in a stone. That line stays there for a very long time. If you have a mind like dirt, mind like earth, it's like drawing a line in the dust, and it stays there for a while, but then it erodes or blows away or washes away when it eventually rains. And the mind like water is like drawing a line in the water, so when something happens to us, it's like a line in water. It disappears as it's appearing. So that's also Samanasanya, developing a mind like water that where we flow through life in the present and build up our practice in that way. So these are just a few little ponderings for this morning.